Are you guys ready to listen to the dulcet tones of my voice for God knows how long?
Yep.
Can't wait.
All right, I think I'm recording, so let's get this party started.
Are you going to be doing anything on Roll20 though?
Yes. I'll be introducing your character pawns as I introduce you guys. I currently have Noximara up. I can do it again if somebody wants a bigger image of Noximara.
Please.
Okay.
Please.
No problemo. There you go.
Yeah.
She plays kind of a big deal for this part, so I figured she'd be a cool
She still
backdrop.
has that cuff on there still.
Yeah. I don't even think I mentioned that, but that's fine. All right. Let's begin. All right. So we're going to place ourselves in the scene. Imagine the Dune music playing in the background if you don't have it up already. We are in the last few moments of last episode, okay? Gonna open up to that. Here we go. Wind whips and howls across the claustrophobic, darkened cavern of the Frostworms. Sheets of ice rip and tear at flesh and cloth alike, while metal bends under the frigid strain. Five bloodied bodies stand in defiance to the gust, surrounded by the twin architects. Deep magic, as if the very mountain itself was cursed, seeps like open wounds from the rock, blocking escape. Cicatrix, rod in hand, mutters hexes as Kabor blasts twins of flame, the rod's brother tightly grasped. Grotog, skin rippling with the otherworldly pulse, lashes out with fierce strength, while Jaeger deftly knocks arrow after arrow silently released into the echo chamber. Kadazi, battered and bruised, strides forward to clamp the life out of one of the ghostly pale worms. Her jaws clamp true. Thick white blood, as if pus, oozes out of the wound, only to be mixed with the icy air. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up a picture of those worms again for y'all. I have to make them on the token layer, otherwise you can't see them.
Oh no.
So there we go. Guys getting flashbacks?
Bad memories.
PTSD.
So freaking
All right. A deep bass trembles, the marking of unimaginable force. The worm erupts in the glacial cave, christening the now tomb in an arctic blast. Hunks of flesh and ice lurch across the cave, spreading carnage throughout. Where once the frostworm writhed, now lies the bloody dent in the icy ground. Feet away, Cicatrix falls to his knees, deep red blood beating from the beak tip of his bone mask. He stares towards the ice, a small sanguine pool collecting underneath. The howl of a wolf, or perhaps a dog, cries out from the cave. Not in terror, but almost as if a welcome home to destiny. Beside Cicatrix, Kabor stands limply, fire licking out from where he was pierced. The wild flame that called his eyes home fades out, snuffed in a mere moment. The two casters fall slowly to the ground, as if time itself stands as still as the frigid wasteland they now call their grave. All that remains of the two are an empty cloak, a mask of bone, a necklace of gemstones, and ash. The second of the tunnelers undulates forward in peristaltic contractions, culminating in a clash of pincers and maw. Jaeger, stoic, stands in defiance, arm reaching back for another arrow. His forearm snaps forward, target in hand, now notching the arrow between his fingers and bow. He quickly pans over his right shoulder, giving one last nod to Kadazi, as if to set her free. Bone contests wood in a snapping crunch, splinters erupting from the bow center. Jaeger cries in Erastil's name as he is consumed in one swift gulp. The worm trills in pain, the mark of a bow and arrow seared into its forehead above its lone red eye. The mark of one last hunt for big game. All that remains in the frigid cavern are Kadazi, Grotog, and the final frostworm. Grotog's eyes dart about, quickly realizing the chance for success is lost. The pungent smell of death begins to saturate the chamber. The last member carrying the burden of the world's fate, he makes a decision to flee. Kadazi quick in tow, the two sprint past the misty crater where the frostworm once stood. They round a corner to their left, visible breath seemingly guiding their way out. Behind them, the loud machinations of layers of muscle and sinew roar as if thunder, the worm gnashing at their heels. Grotog and Kadazi keep running, a seemingly endless series of tunnels finally giving way to cold Arctic air. The rumbles of the worm grow faint as it burrows back into its mountainous lair. The snowy mountaintop rests silent. Grotog scans the dark horizon, absent of any signs of life. The adrenaline pumping through his veins begins to wane, his legs buckling underneath his fatigue. Knees trembling, he reaches behind him. He pulls off a spiraling 4-foot horn, sparkling in silver and copper. With his last bit of strength, he takes a deep breath and blows. The low cry slices through the tranquility of the clearing, as if a dragon bellowing in pain. The basilar tone echoes as Grotog falls face first into the snow, Kadazi now standing over him. The echoes dissipate after several resonations, returning their serene silence to the icy plateau. Time passes and snow falls as stars twinkle in the night sky. A single star turns to black, lost amongst the inky blackness. Then another and another, all disappearing as if beneath a veil. Girls, stop it. They're fighting underneath me. Kadazi nudges Grotog with her snout, rolling him over to face the shadow veil. More stars part the sky, leaving an expanding black hole in the night sky. As more stars vanish, an outline begins to form. An outline of a dragon. Snow begins to coil into the air under the swift gusts of beating wings, a silent tremble on the frigid ground. The soft cracking sounds of compressing snow and ice resonate from two large draconoid claws sinking into the snowy surface. Scales of red cover the foreboding presence. Noximara. Alright, so we fade out and back in. Grotog awakens with a stir, wiping sleep from his eyes. His gaze widens, the sight of rushing speckles zooming against a black canvas, clarifying into full view. He reaches for a sword in futility, unable to move his limbs. As panic begins to rouse inside him, a deep growling voice begins to bellow inside his mind. Do not fear, child. Your call did not go unheard. Be still, my magic will keep you safe. The howling of rushing air makes hearing anything but her mighty voice difficult. I see you are without companions. Have you abandoned them? Grotog tries to stir, still uncomfortable with his current situation.
Oh, great Red One. Grotog would never abandon those close to him. We were ambushed. These frostworms surrounded us in the tunnels behind the drakes. Grotog's party were able to slay one of the beasts, but in its final breath, it exploded, killing 2 mages. The archer took a heroic last stand to save Kadazi and Grotog. He bought us enough time to escape, but perished in the act.
Grotog's voice becomes sullen, clearly saddened by the loss of his compatriots. His eyes dart to his peripherals, looking for the manticore.
Kadazi, where is she? Did she make it out with me?
She is safe, Green One. She stood guard over you until my arrival. We spoke briefly. She seeks her god. The moon briefly comes into Grotog's view before being lost behind a cloud. She wishes you well and hopes to see you again soon. Noximara dips her left wing, pivoting the great dragon. Grotog attempts to grasp her thorny spines emanating from her back, which I will give you a picture of. Sorry. Get rid of the frost worm. Nope. Please, roll 20. There we go. Okay. Grotog's attempt to grasp her thorny spines emanating from her back, but is still unable to move. Despite this, he stays perfectly in place, rotating and tilting in perfect parallel. What were you doing deep in the mountain? Have you found the source of the scourge blighting the mountaintop?
We believe so.
He pauses for a second, the weight of "we" hitting him as if a giant's hammer.
I believe so. We took out what we thought was the left and the right hand of the leader of the camp. Grotog nearly perished doing so, but they stated they reported to someone hidden in the mountain. She goes by the name of Skirkatla.
Do you know anything about this Skirkatla? Her name rings a faint bell in the recesses of my mind, but I cannot recall her directly.
I do not. We did not know it was even a she until very recently. Whomever she is, she must be eliminated.
A small surge of courage washes over Grotog, only to quickly fade right after.
Grotog is in no condition to fight, however. My wounds are serious, and Grotog lacks his friends. I cannot go on and do this alone.
Do not worry about that child. Your destiny ventures a different path. Noxmar begins to descend, gaze facing downward to the shadowy earth below.
Where are you taking me, O wise one? I have failed in protecting my friends, and thus have nowhere Grotog truly belong.
The pain of reality echoes in Grotog's voice. He truly has nowhere to go and nowhere to stay. A man without a place, a shelter, a home. There's somewhere I think you could be of use. Someone is also eagerly awaiting to meet you. Let us go visit them. Her dive steepens, the duo hurtling towards the ground, a shadow lost among the stars. Blackout. We fade in now we open to a spacious room made of deep red brick. Torches adorn the walls on all sides, bathing the chamber in a fierce orange light. Desks, tables, and bookshelves line the walls in a ring below the flame, covered in pages, tomes, and scrolls. The center of the room houses a singular bed with 2 tables on either side. Each table holds an assortment of flasks, incense, and other medicinal wares. Wisps of smoke trail from the small end tables, fumigating the room in a sense of several flowers, rosemary, and cinnamon. Soft fabric, as if made of a special silk, holds aloft a single figure lying on the bed. The body lays still, eyes closed, locked away as if in a coma. Above the body, another figure stands, tome in one hand, reading furiously. The other holds a vial of sparkling gold liquid, bubbles fizzing upon its surface. A faint sound of breaking glass emits from what sounds like an adjacent room. The man holding the book looks up, puzzled look on his face. Just as he is about to go back to his reading, a second loud crash erupts from the body. Wispy red flames ignite along the body's surface, soon enveloping the chamber in an unhinged inferno. Light pours from the room, spilling out every crack and orifice of it. Despite the wreath of flames, both men seem unharmed, rather glowing in orange-red shine. The man holding the book falls, book tumbling aflame, pages blackening from edge to center. The golden-filled flask collides with the darkened clay floor, sparkling liquid splashing amongst the cinders, only to be quickly evaporated. We then fade out and back in to both men floating, facing each other in a colorful tube of space. A kaleidoscope of colors rush past them from left to right, as if a starship traveling at the speed of light. Blues, greens, and browns hurtle as if comets, while both men glow yellow, orange, and red. Silence occupies the vacuum of colors. The body that was on the table looks up, eyes now wide open to the other, whom faces towards their feet, seemingly unconscious. The awake man cries out to the other, a single tear lost from his eyes. No sound emits, unable to break the deafening silence of the vacuum. The man cries out again, hands outstretched. A small ball of flame appears in his hand, the size of a pea. Despite no sound once again, the pebble of fire springs forth from his hand, targeted towards the other body. The orb finds its target, erupting in an intense fireball, swathing the unconscious body in flames. The body awakens, eyes flicking open intensely. He slowly raises his head, eyes meeting the gaze of the other. Both men silently shed tears, a sense of pure euphoria encompassing both of them. I'm so happy to see you, brother. I hope your travels have been fruitful. No sounds emit from his mouth, yet the other can hear him as if right beside him. I have been lucky up until now, brother. My time has come to close, however. I feel a strong pull to another plane, one I have yet to visit. It seems comforting. Kapor, you mustn't. Our task is yet to be completed. A strong look of worry adorns the countenance of this man. You have done well in finding where Mother has gone, but we need to get her back. Bring her back home. Don't you wish this as well? His worry shifts to exasperation. Kapor stares intently back at him. Eos, I cannot resist this pull. Our perverse magic has changed the rules. You must do something. Kapor's eyes begin to fade, mirroring what happened to him in the material plane. Don't forget, Mother Gemstone. Eos stares at the light fading from his brother's eyes, and without hesitation silently screams while casting a spell. His body lunges forward, colliding into Kabor in a fierce eruption of kindling light. Sparks fly as if two swords had crossed paths, each scraping into the other. The brothers spin about, Eos now floating where Kabor once did, and vice versa. The two brothers begin to pull apart, each reeled in by forces beyond comprehension. Kabor's eyes close while Eos reaches out with his outstretched hands, as if to embrace his fading brother. The two vanish into inky blackness as the silence crescendos, as if a scream. Blackout. All right, we now fade in to high-pitched whistles of songbirds. That's all we see aside from a blinding yellow light. As our focus comes to, we see a radiant yellow sun glistening in a beautiful azure sky. Small tufts of pale clouds dot the blue canvas, and a gentle warmth kisses our skin. As we pan down, the verdant spires of a dense forest make up the horizon. The scarce smell of plant life is interwoven with intermittent blasts of pollen and flowers. As the camera pans further down, we see amongst the foliage a well-traveled dirt path. Scattered rocks and shrubbery line the borders. Walking along this path, we see 4 figures walking together, destination unknown. An old dwarven woman, if you can even call her such, seems heated in discussion with a taller figure covered head to toe in iron. What do these 2 figures look like in more detail? Scott, you first.
So, like a 3'7", gray-skinned, like bald, really old lady, like dwarven size, like 3'7", 180. Yeah, like she's just a thick, old-looking bitch. Gray skin.
All right, perfect. And Andrew?
This is like a 5'8", 5'9", like 170-ish, like athletic build. Kind of like a Ronda Rousey, I would say. Yep, kind of like a Ronda Rousey build. She has like blondish white hair, some like misty bluish white eyes, and very tan skin. She is an Aasimar, so
More about that
she
later.
has like a faint glow. She has the faint glow around her. So
Perfect. Thank you. Besides the 2 women, stride 2 more figures, nonchalantly minding their own business. Justin, what do these 2 look like?
Right. One of them is a cat folk who is, in his younger days, all black, but now as his age grows on him, his hair's gotten a little white and carries no weapons
salt
on
and pepper. Salt and
him.
pepper.
A well-seasoned man. On his forehead is a glowing rune,
Ooh.
and his eyes look clear, white in the pupils. And beside him is his friend, who is wearing a purple, pretty ornate mask. And the rest of the frill is too much. They're just kind of wearing similar rags.
Yeah, we're focusing on the
little more
mask
ornate.
here.
Yeah, a little more ornate clothes, but the mask is what stands out the most, covering the entire face.
Perfect. Jared, we're saving your picture for later, so hold on. All right, perfect. Thank you, guys.
So wait, hold on.
Yeah.
What was the second one? The first one was a cat folk, and the second one is
It's
what
a
is this
Just
one?
like a humanoid. Can't really tell, but similar heights.
mask, body covered head to toe, and cloths. You can't really see them.
Ah, okay.
Sort of like there's some characters in Game of Thrones, that have like the ornate mask and are covered in the garbs. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Sir Gregor, like Sir Gregor.
Yeah.
Almost. Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
that. Okay.
Some of the people of Eos or whatever.
Yeah. You guys can inquire more when we get to that. Let me continue so I can get done talking and drink so much water. Okay. As the 4 continue down the path, the distant sounds of people begin to arise. Over the canopy, the four notice billowing smoke, tufts of deep black, a stark contrast to the beautiful sunny day. The elderly dwarf notices first, interrupting her own lecture on the importance of her religion to inform the others. All look up except the feline compatriot, steadfast in their walk. As they approach, the distinct booms of nails into wood, the chiseling of stone, and the yelling of delegation become clear. A wooden sign, staked into the ground, stands crooked on the side of the dirt path. The symbol of a knife is painted upon its face in deep brown paint. The cat instantly knows the symbol from tales heard in their storied life, the symbol of a hope knife. Blackout. All right, fading in again. There's a lot of blackouts. It's like Justin's internet today, just blacking out all over the place.
That was very difficult.
All right. Fade in now to a zoomed-in visual of mist, hot breath, and cold air. It's dark, pitch black, with nigh a faint sound. We hear a snap of fingers. A small tuft of flame floats over Eos's hand, illuminating his surroundings. Icy blues and whites surround him on all sides, clearly a tunnel of some kind. Pervading his surroundings, Eos notices a small crater several feet away, indentations in not only the ground, but in the roof and walls around it. Nearby the crater, small pools of deep red blood stick out from the lighter frigid hues of the tunnel. To his left, a bone bird mask, beak tipped in blood, sits nestled near a set of haggard robes. Eos turns his head, a glint of something sparkling catching his gaze. He looks downward at his feet. Beneath his sandals, a pile of ash, concealing the source of the sparkle. He bends down and picks up the source of the shimmering, a necklace of gemstones. Remembering Kabor's words, he adorns the necklace, glistening with a vibrant kaleidoscope of hues, painting the walls in the chamber a deep red and green. In particular, the garnet shines most vibrant, a deep red, almost as if a beacon or a torch. Eos lifts his gaze to follow the scarlet light, only to see a silhouette of a figure. The flame above his hands drift towards the figure, lazily gliding in a straight path, until floating directly above said figure. To his surprise, the flame is actually a few feet aloft from the figure, whom stands still, holding a small book, perhaps a journal. The flame looks as if atop a wick, with pronounced black hair curling to a brown hue near the tip. A sharp voice then emanates from the smiling figure, seemingly exactly where they want to be. Hello there! Do you know where we are? I just followed you here, and boy, do you have a weird taste in places. Eos stares, confused on whom this jolly gnome might be. Do I know you? Eos speaks clearly, concisely, as if a scholar teaching new students. Do I know you? The voice squeaks back, as if Eos is the intruder, not him. You know you're standing in burnt flesh, right? He looks back at his book, Eos noticing is currently upside down. Just thought you should know. Fuse Brambleback's the name. Whom does Fuse have the pleasure? Fuse holds out his outstretched hand as if to give a handshake. After an unreasonably short time, and without Eos even moving, he then mimics the shaking with the cold air, no one shaking back. Eos, Fuse, nice to meet you, I think. I believe I know where we are, and we should not be here. Eos closes his eyes for a moment, concentrating on his hearing. Fuse stands patiently, mimicking Eos, apart from one eye being open, quickly passing glances at his book. I believe we should get out of here, Fuse. I sense perverse magics, and we are outmatched. Fuse nods his head in agreement, still acting like he's deeply listening. Sounds good to Fuse! 1 second! He pulls out a vial, grizzly brown and verdant green sludge sloshing inside. He pops the cork, downs the drink, and stares widely at Eos. Eos grimaces, taken aback by this creepy look. As this happens, Fuse's nose begins to change, as if into a snout. Fuse speaks up. Okay, Fuse smell a way out. Follow, flesh feet. Eos nods, following the strange gnome through the icy tunnels. They soon appear in a cave, natural appearing, unlike the carved tunnels they were once found themselves in. Fuse holds up his hand, stopping Eos, fingers to his chest. He pulls out 2 more vials, handing one to Eos. Fuse nods, downing the translucent purple fluid in one big gulp. A second later, he vanishes. Yet Eos still feels Fuse's hand on his chest. Eos nods at the empty space and downs his vial, leaving now seemingly empty space where two once stood. Grabbing Fuse's hand, Eos follows the gnome, pausing several times at the sounds of deep basilar breathing. They soon reach the orifice, an opening as if a mouth to the mountainside. Both step out into the snow, footprints marking their path. The cold is intense, intensified even more by the biting of wind that seems to cut right through them. In Eos's palm, Fuse's hand is replaced by the distinct hard coldness of glass. One last vial. Without hesitating, Eos downs the fluid. For once was the unbearable cold, now the gentle warmth of a roaring fire. Blackout again. I think that's the last blackout. We fade in. The group of four from earlier find themselves facing a large town. Walls damaged, buildings razed, as if besieged recently. Two guards spot their approach, standing before what is left of a heavy wooden gate. One steps forward, brow furrowed. "Who goes there? What business do you four have in Trunau?" His eyes lock gaze with all four of you, clearly sizing you up. The second guard watches on, hands tightly gripped on the wooden handle of his spear. Before any of you get the chance to retort, a voice yells out from inside the gate. "Hold up, men!" He is dressed in military regalia, hope knife sheathed in a fine scabbard embroidered with the symbol of Trunau. Clutched in his hands is a once wax sealed letter, now opened, wax ring dangling from the letter tip. Both guards turn around and salute, clenched fists across their chests. Sort of like the Wakanda one, except with one arm. And I did that back in 2016, so I think that was before the first Black Panther movie. So, kiss my butt, Disney. All right. "Cursed, sir!" they state in unison. The four of you look as Cursed approaches. "Gentlemen, let these folks pass. I have recent word that they are expected here, much to even my own surprise. The name's Cursed Grath." Cursed slips into a small smile, nodding his head downward quickly, before returning his gaze to the note in his hand. "It seems that these folks know the heroes that saved us during the Battle of Blood March Hill. Is this true?" Cursed looks at the four of you. Each of you stare back, clearly confused, before the dwarven woman nods her head yes. The cat and knight look toward each other, silently acknowledging their worry. "All right, then you are welcome here, friends." Cursed smiles more broadly, almost beaming in joy. "Follow me. Someone wishes to see you." The dwarf leads the four of you behind Cursed, swallowed into the winding way of walls and wood that is Trunau. You five advance deeper into the town, southward, uphill, until the black plume of smoke you noticed earlier is now in full view. Townsfolk look at you as you pass, some with confusion, others disdain. Cursed waves and nods at them, clearly respected by the villagers. As the five of you reach the front door of the dilapidated-looking building, hole clearly cut in the roof, Cursed turns around, facing the four of you. "Here's where I leave you. You are in good hands here, I think. It honestly depends on the day." He chuckles to himself before continuing. "Anywho, I trust that the town will treat you with respect. This is not the first time we've had, foreign visitors. This town has its fair share of racism, I won't lie. But if anyone gives you any disservice, report to me immediately. I can be found at the Longhouse in the southwest of town. I wish you well." Cursed knocks at the door and then leaves, not waiting for a response. A few moments later, a man opens the door. I'm going to go ahead and do this real fast. Pardon. This man looks like... Yeah?
Damn, son.
Some slight alterations, but I'll describe it. He stands wearing a red robe with black undergarments. Black sandals adorn his feet, which appear to be covered in soot. Brown hair and a trimmed beard outline his chiseled face, with burning red eyes staring back at you. "So you're them, huh?" He guys up the four of you, as if studying. "Name's Eos. Pleasure. Come in. Fuse has been waiting for you all." He steps aside, gesturing for the four of you to come in. "Oh, don't be alarmed by him. He's a bit eccentric, but overall he's a pretty cool guy. Mad, most likely, but in a good way. It'll make sense when you meet him." The four guests step in, eyes instantly drawn to a large glass flask of shining pink potion. Smaller flasks crowded around it. Shelves upon shelves are lined with all sorts of glassware, most filled with fluids in all colors of the rainbow. A few vials seem empty or smashed, yet not cleaned up, as if their purpose was to be incorrect. As the four new arrivals mill about on the first floor, a small door opens up in the eastern corner of the room. A small gnome steps out, covered head to toe in black soot. He coughs, a black puff forming a ring that flies across the room. He looks surprisingly pleased by this, and immediately takes out a small journal, writing furiously in its pages. Eos leans towards the four of you and whispers, "Luck, is it me, or is that book upside down?" Y'all look and confirm that, indeed, the book is upside down. All five of you nod in approval at Eos' statement. Fuse walks up to the new group of five. He pulls out 4 letters, handing one to each of you except the catfolk. He hand gestures opening them without saying a word before turning around and heading back up the stairs, sooty footprints in his wake. You all open the wax seals, each a deep sanguine color, and read the contents inside. Greetings, children. My name is Naximara. I'm writing to you with the help of my small friend here named Grotog. He is part of an adventuring party, much like you all are going to be. The request is of the utmost importance, having the fate of your kind, as well as my own, on the line. The group prior to you laid down their lives in hopes of keeping this world a safe place, and have now passed the torch on to you. You all have been selected for reasons beyond even my comprehension, which is a feat beyond your most vibrant of imaginations. A giant radical lord named Volsys the Storm Tyrant seeks to weep out the small folk from all of Galarian. To aid in his misdeeds, he has in his possessions a most powerful artifact, the Orb of Dragonkind. With this, he is able to possess and control any dragon he senses, including myself. I've included a small scale of mine in this letter as proof of my heritage. So in all 4 of your letters, there is a red scale that is Naximara's. The prior group has done well in weakening the Storm Tyrant's plans, including saving the very village in which you currently reside. I have met with the bizarre tiny one who has handed you these notes and trusted in him the details of our plan. His brain may be scrambled, but it holds power even us dragons respect. Eos, you have seen the frigid wastes where the last party fell, stood even in their wake, their tomb. Fuse told me you also stood in the remains of another and that you need to wash your feet, so please do so. I digress. Because you have seen both Trunau and Skiergard, you are able to teleport the group to either location. There is a third place you must visit, but we haven't the time for that at the moment. Grotog can take you there, for he holds the artifact necessary to access said ground. You others, please follow Eos to the frozen tunnels. Once you enter, you cannot escape except by foot, so be on your utmost guard. I fear what lies in there is the most evil. Grotog has also left behind a gift, wrapped in cloth. I was told it is in the basement of the dwelling of the crazy gnome. Use it if you need me, but only if you must. Good luck, adventurers, and may Apsu take you upon his immortal wings. Naximara, and then in parentheses, and Grotog. What do you do?
It sounds like we need to go get the dragon horn out of Fuse's basement.
What? The dragon horn?
Yeah, it said, make sure you grab it so you can call me if you need me.
Probably be very useful.
If you want to beat me, it's okay. That took 34 minutes to read.
That was really good, though.
Yeah, that was cool.
Well done.
Thanks. There it is in the chat if you guys want to go back and look at it later for reference or whatever. But my job's done. You guys are playing again.
Ira would say that she would want to go get the dragon horn or whatever is in Fuse's basement. Ira. Oh, sorry. Excuse me.
Yeah, you guys want to introduce each other?
I'd like to introduce myself as Ira Anguis. I come from long, far away and I am a paladin of Shaylin. Believe in love, beauty, and music. Can save all.
Now, you guys have been traveling for a while, so you would know this, but we'll just assume
Yep.
this is just like you guys meeting for the first time here in terms of descriptions.
I guess
Yep.
we can kind of introduce each other to Eos.
It's true. Eos has not met you.
Let me change my name.
Are you all free to change your names? Sky already did.
All right.
I need pronounce. What is Justin's? How do you say your name?
Karamos. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Miraz.
Mears.
Mears.
Trying to get it to not be like that, but oh well.
Mine's one line. Is yours like 2 lines or something?
Yeah.
It's 2.
Oh, on mine it's only 1. So, anybody update the pictures? I'm gonna refresh my Roll20 real fast.
I can do that.
I did.
Oh shit, we're up here. Wait, can I see a zoomed in one of Justin's character again?
It's a cool looking thing.
Ooh. Things are chugging along very slowly over here.
There you go.
That's cool. That's cool. That's really
Like
cool.
like a shaman, I guess. I don't know what a summoner is classified as. Is that like a shaman?
No.
It's
This
some
is
class.
him. That's him.
It's-
That's his.
It's a it's a whole class.
Eidolon.
Yeah.
This is the Eidolon. The cat. Or are you the cat?
The world may
He's
never
the
know.
cat. That's the Eidolon.
That's the Eidolon.
Yes.
I have no idea who you're pointing to because my Roll20 is not working. So
I currently have
Are you
the mask up.
figure or the cat folk?
that is a
He's the
good
cat folk.
question.
Both? Neither?
Who is the summoner though? Like this one
It's a good
or
question.
this one?
It's a good question.
Is a good question.
Can I get an answer?
You will
Why don't you
later.
try and roleplay it? Roleplay it.
If we've been traveling, I should already know.
Not necessarily. If you've been traveling, you may
Alright.
know their names, but you may not know who's
I'll
who.
let you know that one does most, if not all, of the talking, and the other one is more quiet. The talker, he is always looking random places, looking around, staring off into the distance, and the one with the mask is generally always staring people down.
Okay. All right. Wait, do I have? Okay, I do have control of it.
Yeah, everyone tests. Make sure you have control of your pawns.
I tell you, my Roll20 has been loading for like 4 minutes.
Oh yeah, I saw you weren't in here.
So where are we currently, Josh? Are we still at Fuses?
Yep, you're in Fuse's first floor.
Okay. I guess Ira will go and say,
Oh, we're not in the cave.
No, I just
No,
put
we're
this here for
Oh,
I don't have Fuse's house drawn, so
gotcha.
Ira will go,
Little Fuse, do you have the artifact that the big dragon was speaking of?
Fuse already ran upstairs. Remember, he gave you the notes, mimed opening them, and then walked right back up.
okay, so then can we just go down and grab it then?
You don't know where the basement is.
Down. Okay. Can I go talk to Fuse to see where the basement is?
No need, because Eos knows where it is. So he heads down there and pulls open the secret hatch, which is just to the right of the little desk area where he's the counter. That's what the word I was looking for. The counter, and heads on down there. And he stays down there for a little bit, and then finally comes back up with this huge, wrapped object. So, do you guys want to unwrap it or just hold? keep it
Yeah,
as it is?
I will unwrap it.
All right. So inside, you do see the Drakesbane horn in its all its glory.
Who would like to bear this?
My character can take it. I don't care. I have the slow and steady, so no matter what I carry, I can't be bogged down.
Arndis, would you be so kind to carry this for us?
Yes, I'll take it.
You're so kind.
That might be the first time anyone's ever said that.
Well, let's Jalen have many blessings upon you as we venture across these lands together.
Make love, not war, baby.
Alright, so we get this shit, and then where are we gonna go from here?
It's up to you guys.
Eos, so in the letter that this wonderful dragon gave us said that you know where to go. Do you, by chance, have like an idea where we should start? I mean, the four of us have had some time to get to know each other. We just want to know your thoughts. Where would you like to go?
Well, you guys can go to the ice cave, but you technically go out in front. So you go where the drakes are, and you potentially have to deal with that hoopla.
So we can't TP into the spot that we all died at?
No, remember, all teleportation's blocked inside the mountain. That's why you guys couldn't teleport out in the first place.
Gotcha. That's right. Are we just gonna bank that Noximara talk to the drakes for us, or?
I doubt she did.
Yeah,
I don't think
probably
she did
not.
either. I don't think she
I
did
mean,
either.
they feared the other red dragon that was up there. What's that one's name, Josh?
Jalvaraz?
Galvaraz, yeah. He's a red dragon too.
He's
So,
a young
they're
red
scared
dragon.
of-
Yeah,
if
he's
they're
not,
scared of one red dragon, they're going to be scared of another red dragon too.
So, I guess we don't know that we need to kill the dragon to be on the Drake's good side.
there's a lot you
Yeah.
guys don't know. You were just told, go to this cave. Clear it out.
So where could we teleport to? Like right to the drakes?
Yep. So I can actually bring up that map. So if we go here, where your old bodies once stood, rip. You guys can
We
tell
can
we're
go
right there.
Or we can go like into like right where the magical field stops. Like I guess we wouldn't know where that is though.
I mean, yeah, it kind of feels like just the whole mountain itself. Like as soon as you walk into the rock, the magic takes over.
I see. Then yeah, I mean I guess we teleport there. I mean, they can see invisibility, so it makes no sense to.
But can they though? Maybe some can. Remember when Fuse and Eos were leaving, he made them invisible. Why would you do that if it didn't matter?
Hmm.
I guess we
Is there
could.
greater invisibility? Oh, that's just longer.
No, that's just that. It's the same time.
Is there like
I
a
think.
cloaking? Is there something
We can
like
do-
shroud?
Oh, like invisibility sphere would work, or if we need invisibility, I can do it on all of us.
Well, to be fair, you five don't know drakes exist except for Eos potentially, and he never saw one. He just heard. So,
Hmm.
That's true. I guess they just said go to the caves.
yep.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe Rangfear was in contact with somebody. I guess we just go up to it and. I mean, we got to teleport right there because that's where the caves are, and we can't go in the caves. So, I mean, are we thinking as a group that we would be prepared to go in there?
Just you want me to share
I
my
mean, I
screen
guess
so you
we-
can see the map? Since Roll20's not working for you.
Sure.
Continue, Scott. Sorry.
I mean, we do know that they died in there. So I think,
we could reasonably suspect some sense of danger.
yeah,
Make sure I'm sharing the PMC and not the GM screen.
I can see the entire GM screen.
Okay, what is my note that's written right here then?
Nothing's loaded.
I say we probably sense danger. Like, we're going into danger and we should be prepared. So I would say we could all cast invisibility.
I mean, sure. You guys aren't slouches. Everyone's level 12, so
Do I need to? I guess we're gonna invis. I don't know how Eidolons work, but like, can't you summon them so we could save a spell?
Yeah, I can handle invisibility. And I could. So you want me to desummon my Eidolon?
they're gonna know who's who then.
It's true.
I mean, you don't have to, but I'm just stating like I have 7 of those available and a racial ability that lets me do it. But I mean, if it's like a standard action to call that in,
Just saying, if you value the spell slots, you might not necessarily need it.
Summoning
have
an
Detect
Eidolon
Evil.
is a 1-minute prayer. And I can only do it once a day.
oh,
But once we get into the cave, I could figure something out.
do we think we even need to cast invisibility?
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think we should because, like, we wouldn't know to like. I mean, you don't know the terrain. I guess we're not there yet. So like we would have to be like in the moment and then cast invisibility, unless like you would just travel invisible. Like I don't know. Mechanically, I'm. It just said go to the cave. It didn't say look out for the giant Drake thing.
Yeah, but we know they died in the caves, though. We don't know where in the caves, but we were told they died in the caves, which is then where we're heading.
If you want to cast invisibility, you can go ahead and cast it.
No, I mean we don't have to. I don't care.
Am I in?
Yep. All right, I guess we'll just move up and walk into the caves. What are you drawing?
I'm drawing this.
The dinosaur?
No. Here, let me get rid of these because
Thank you for the screen, Josh.
no problem. Do you not need any anymore?
Not for now.
Okay.
Is that a wolf?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Very
Okay.
rudimentary wolf. It's best I can do in 5 seconds. So
The wolf is pointing this way?
it's just in there. It's not really pointing to anything per se. I'm gonna stop my streaming. Okay. we go.
Okay. I guess we just walk in then?
Yeah, there's no drakes in sight. Instead, you see this picture of a wolf.
Huh.
Oh.
Renfield.
They did it. So there's no giants or anything?
Nope.
Alright, so we don't know what that means, but
You have no idea what it means, but you know what it means.
yeah. So I guess we'll just,
Head on in, baby.
if I can take my duo here.
Don't worry about it. We're switching maps anyway, so. Round. All right.
All right, who wants to be where?
Alright,
I always have some sound.
Before we do anything, both of us are going to go over here and sort of sit down, and I will despawn my Eidolon.
Ready? Ready for the great reveal? About which one's
And-
which? Hold on. And boop.
Eidolon
Catfolk.
despawned. I am the catfolk.
Mystery solved. I'm ready when you are, Justin.
Alright, so I'm going to sit here, and my rune will slowly start glowing on my forehead, and a single minute later, you can pop them in.
And I will make that big.
What the fuck? It's a headless centaur?
And is this, what size is this, Justin?
This is a large creature.
Okay.
So you can make it whatever you want.
Not necessarily. We took some creative
Yeah.
liberties.
There, yeah, there were some creative liberties there, but
This is the true form here.
yeah, the other form is more of a lower form.
Looking good.
That is battle ready Eidolon. This guy is Elhaz. Elhaz.
All right, you
Technically
guys.
the same being, but
Yep.
Dude, that thing looks sweet. It's so creepy.
yeah, there's another picture that I wanted to use, but it was kind of hard to see.
I have a dog chewing paper beneath me. So 1 second.
Put put it in here real quick, and then
Oh yeah, I guess I could do
just blow it up full size. It doesn't matter. When you blow it up full size, it still looks like what you want.
that. So this.
Put it in. Put it in.
Can I put it in Roll20? Is that possible?
Just have Josh put it in here. It's so creepy looking. That is awesome. Oh fuck. What is it called? Or is it
Its
just
name?
Yeah.
That one, Elhaz, which is a Nordic rune.
Mm.
It is from a movie.
What movie?
The Ritual.
I did not see that one.
Good.
That one was creepy. That's really cool.
Okay, I'm back.
Did you put the other one in Discord?
I sent it to Josh, but I can just put it in the general chat.
I can do it if you need.
We were just trying to get his other picture that he was
Oh.
gonna do.
Yeah, if you can just blow that up.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm gonna use. I just wanted to,
Yeah, I'll put it in the group chat.
depending on how the character was introduced, it would have been one of two images.
There you go.
Oh God, yeah. Holy shit.
You're talking about where this is from?
Yeah. If we introduced it like they didn't know who I was, I would have done something like that. Just like the creature, but
Oh God, that's creepy.
It looks like Full Metal Alchemist kind of shit almost.
Oh, for the viewers on YubTub here. Here we go.
Looks disgusting.
That was a good movie.
I enjoyed it.
It was.
Okay. I was gonna get not add music, please.
Holy shit.
I've been listening to the Dune soundtrack this whole time.
How was it?
Very, very cool.
I told you.
There were a couple moments where it lined up perfectly with what you were saying, like a big swell.
Oh, I love it.
Very
Dude,
cool.
that song from Dune is amazing.
I know. The whole movie is amazing.
Yes.
Okay.
Building your business online?
Shut up,
Yeah.
ads.
Dude, we should totally go watch it when it comes out in November.
Absolutely. Hopefully I'll be in Columbus.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Even if you're in Dayton, we'll go watch it.
Heck yeah, man. Sounds dope. All right. How's it feel to be back in action, boys?
I'm ready.
I feel like this whole thing is really cool. This whole thing is really cool.
This, yeah. It was and still is very confusing.
Yeah. I can't wait for the 45-minute rules lawyers that were going to be happening every so often here. As nice as it would be to give everybody a bottle cap to start off their new characters, I'm not that nice. So
Take him away.
take them away, boys.
Wait, what? We lose our bottle caps when we die?
You all
think we
spent all
used
of them to not
Try to
die.
save ourselves.
Yeah. And they would not carry over anyways. No. So because I'm heartless.
I don't know. I don't know how to get rid of them.
That's fine. I just want to let you guys know before you start trying to use them. All right, so you guys are in
Ha.
in
one.
the same cave. In terms of like, I was asked like in terms of like bearing with the cold, because you're now surrounded with walls, you can actually like bear the temperature now. So you don't have to worry about like endure elements or anything like that, because Jared was asking me about that, which was a valid question. Is everyone able to move their people okay?
Yep.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, so you guys walk in. After a while, you see the blood-stained ground in the crater and all that stuff. Do you guys want to do anything? You don't hear any trilling or anything like that.
Oh my gosh, is this where they all died? I can't believe it. They actually did all perish right here. Hopefully Shaylin's looking after them.
I'm gonna go investigate. We're gonna go investigate the bodies.
Yeah, if you want, here's the exact place where everyone died.
Oh, nice.
I think seeing this, Ira would want to do detect evil, Josh, to see kind of like if anyone's around.
Sure.
Anything.
What is the range on that?
It's like 60 feet, I want to say.
Okay, 1 second. Currently looking up if things are evil.
It's like a
If the worm is
cone.
60 feet away.
Okay. Yeah, you can shoot in all directions, though. It is not... You do not sense anything that's evil within 60 feet. Oh, and the crater is right here.
Okay. So it's not 60 feet from where I'm standing, correct? Or
Correct.
okay, it's 10 minutes per level, by the way. So I mean, it's
All right, so
on
you're
for
just
2 hours.
yeah, you're just shooting it around constantly.
Yeah.
As soon
Yep.
as something pops up, I will let you know.
Sweet.
All right.
Forgot I needed an actual book for this. I've been reading my notes for so long. Here we go.
Okay, so are we assuming, Josh, that we don't have vision on this?
Correct.
We don't know about this.
Yeah, I can hide it for you if it's bothering you.
No, I'm just saying, us as characters though don't know.
There you go. Better?
Yeah, I mean it was fine before. I'm just saying, like, we're exploring.
Yeah.
Down
You
this
guys have never been here
road.
before. And it's not like you really learned much from Gurtog and Kadasi and anyways, so. Alright, so we have Ira, Eos, I keep wanting to say Eos, but it's Eos. Karamos and Arndis.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's not too bad.
I'm gonna have my friend over here reach down and pick up the mask and hand it to me.
Oh god, imagine how creepy that would look. Heaven.
Oh god.
I mean, from the movie it grabs onto stuff, right?
Yeah, there's one scene in the movie.
Can you please? There we go. Imagine that thing.
I don't know if I can copy a GIF
that's-
over, but
So cool.
You can try to post a GIF in the chat, see if it works.
Man.
I don't
Well
know.
done, Justin.
Thank you. That movie
That-
inspired this entire thing.
You know, there's another movie in that universe.
I did not.
Yeah.
So can I just ask, like, mechanically, like, the Isladon is in like a traveling mode essentially when it's in the mask and the shroud essentially, and this is like its natural state.
So you could
Yeah, the GIF didn't work,
Tech-
Justin.
okay.
It's just a
You could
PNG.
technically only change the shape when you level up, but I thought the reveal would be really cool if we just did it like this. But
Got you.
for
Okay.
lore-wise, I don't walk around with a, giant monster like this. So, if I need to go into combat,
Yeah, we kind of have it set as like a travel mode and a battle mode.
So, but like you have to set the mode, correct? Like, so you have to take like a minute to put it into travel mode and into battle mode.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean that.
Yeah,
I mean that makes sense. That makes sense.
So if it's in travel
I
mode,
want to get the ruby amulet.
you already got it on.
Okay.
I think all that's left there is ashes, Jared.
Yep. Remember, Fuse called you Fleshfoot because you were standing in burnt flesh. So that was that joke.
I
Alrighty.
say we just like go, start searching for what killed them.
That's probably a good idea.
You hide all the deadies, Josh.
Okie doke.
Oh, perfect. Well, here's the gift.
Yeah, I saw that.
Goodbye, daddies.
That's really.
Oh
creepy.
yeah, now's the gift. The gift's working.
Yeah.
Here we go, people.
His just hands are so articulate.
All right.
Well, Arndis will look back and say, "I think it's time we moved."
I agree. I will be the shining light, guiding us through the Forsaken Lands. Shaylin will protect us.
All right. Real talk though, who has dark vision?
Asimers do. So I do.
I think I do as well.
Jared does as well.
Okay.
Ooh.
My dark vision, because of my race, which is a Dwergar, is 120 feet. I have like super dark vision.
Would everyone like to give us the very first rolls official and perception checks, please? Let's get this party started.
Ira will aid Arndis. Well, I don't think I need to, but
That's a fat roll. Already a stark contrast to Jaeger.
well, you got a +2 to that, Scott. So you have a 42.
42. Let's go.
Now, because of your race, you are extremely familiar with tunnels. Can you draw a line 120 feet just straight left of you?
Straight left.
Yeah, just use your ruler. Okay, perfect. I'm going to give you a little more than that.
You want me to move?
Nope.
Is that like solid rock that we can't get through, or
That is
like
rubble.
outside?
It looks like a wall has collapsed there. So it is rough terrain, but you can walk through it.
Okay.
With that 40, you also feel vibrations in the ground.
Vibrations in the ground.
Yep.
Do you know what these vibrations could mean?
Give me a knowledge nature or knowledge engineering.
No knowledge local.
No.
Ooh, 13. Don't
That's
venture
a
up into the
15
mountains
on
too much.
engineering, and that's a
Nate?
26 on Nate.
Anyone else?
Nope. I got religion, and that's it.
Okay, going once, going twice.
Hold on. That's actually +4 additional, so that's 30.
Okay, you sense that it is something doing tremor sense, using the vibrations and the ricochet like a sonar.
Arndis will look back and say, like with her hand on the ground, as she looks back, she says, "Something is coming."
With R&D saying that, I will be like, then I shall cast this. She will cast Protection from Evil, Communal.
All right.
So everyone gets like 2 minutes ish, because it's 1 minute intervals per level. So I can give them to as many people as I need, and there's 5, so I guess
2 and some change.
yeah, 2 and some change to everyone.
I'm gonna touch my Eidolon. And then we'll both have a little sparkle around us that'll dissipate. I'll do mage armor on us. Both.
Okay. We
Cast Mage Armor.
All right.
We're ready.
Everyone feeling ready to rumble?
I will cast Iron Skin too, actually. So
All right.
do we want to do? I can do do a protection from energy communal or a resist energy communal. We need that.
we probably do, because it's we don't know that it's energy based though. So
Yeah, but the knowledge check was high enough so you can infer that it's probably some ice-related beast or cold.
It's probably the frostworm again,
Okay.
which is what killed them. Because we know that a frostworm killed them.
yeah, I just think either
Protection from energy communal.
yeah.
So we'll do cold protection.
All right, and just
Cast Stone Skin.
all right, you guys are buffing up like crazy. And after a second or two, the wall of the tunnel rips open, and you see your old friend. Except right above his singular red eye, you see a brand in the shape of a bow and arrow above it. Everyone, go ahead and roll for initiative. Bum, bum, ba-da-lim, bum, bum, ba-da-lim.
Let's go. Keep it consistent, baby.
Dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. I'm gonna get demonetized if I keep saying that. Rewind. Alright, we'll see how I do this time on my initiative roll. Amazing. Alright.
I got like a 1 this time.
So we can assume that they have protection from energy for this whole combat. It's 10-minute intervals per my level, so 120 minutes divided between the 5 of us, I think
Sure.
will last.
That's my dry erase markers there.
Alright, going for initiative. Damn it!
All right. Oh, I haven't updated the names on here, so I gotta do that later.
Take a tricks. What'd you get?
That's literally the one I'm holding right now.
27.
All right. All right. Keramos, what'd you get?
27.
All right. Eos, what'd you get?
How do you say your second one's name?
Elhaz.
Elhaz.
Roughly, I'll have to figure out how to speak Nordic for the next time.
Oh, so it is Nordic based.
Yes.
do you have a deity?
I did.
All right. Eos, what'd you get?
This would be a very interesting backstory to hear.
We don't know what your
Not
initiative is. It's plus
Fully
8.
done.
This just seems like a cat folk with a Nordic. Like, this has gotta be. There's gotta be some shit.
There is.
All right. Well, Jared looks that up.
Holy
Okay, got
smoke.
22. All right.
Plus 8.
Arndis, what'd you get?
12.
Okay. And
Holy
Ira, what'd you get?
But 8.
You got an 8. What's your bonus?
A 3.
Okay. I also got an 8. My bonus is plus 7.
Don't forget, you guys get a +2 to your AC and +2 to your resistance bonus saves.
If it's evil,
Resistance bonus on saves.
it's not evil.
It's not evil?
Nope.
Wait, it's the +2 against evil, so it's not evil, so it won't get the +2?
Correct. It is true neutral.
True
Neutral.
neutral.
For creatures do not eliminate out of, negative emotion. They do it in self-defense.
Correct.
All right. Up first is the dynamic duo of Keramos and Elhaz. Go ahead and start us off.
All right. Feeling the energy of a fight. I'm going to cast haste on all of us
Oof.
and raise my wand and tap my Eidolon and cast Magic Fang Greater.
Jeez.
We're about to get fast and loose with the combat here. It's about to get funky with all these new characters and abilities.
All right, here we go. Let's hit him with a pounce.
All right. Fan favorite. That was from the cats that almost killed all y'all way back in Minderhalls Valley. They were pouncing.
Any attacks of opportunity as I get in here?
If you have pounce, you never do.
Yeah, pounce does not provoke.
Oh, bless it. Alright, well, I'll hit him with a power attack.
You attempt to hit him. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
I will hit him with a power attack. Oh, forget. That's
Two. Or actually, it's
-1 penalty and additional
if it's 11, it's yeah.
11.
You're level 12.
Yeah, this. What is the scale of strength? Oh, base attack bonus is.
Base attack bonus and strength, plus you get I think it's
Your
2
weapon.
points.
So I think it's 3 because it's 1 and then every 4 after.
Oh,
So
for
it's-
power attack?
Yeah.
So it's 1,
it's
5,
thirty.
9, 13.
Yeah. So it would be -3 plus 6.
Yes. Because it's base attack bonus and 4. Okay. So -3 to hit.
Plus
I get-
6 damage.
Yeah, but I have a +4 to hit from my. Okay, so I get +1 to hit.
And then you added your Magic Fang Greater in.
Okay, so so this is a +4 because this is already the -3.
Okay, that is a
24
miss.
to hit. All right, so that was the bite. A claw. 26.
That is a miss.
Wow. Oh, good. There you go.
36.
That is a hit.
All right, and I'll just do the damage afterwards. 33.
That is also a hit.
Ooh, baby. Okay.
Now, what is your protection from cold? Is that points per round or points per hit, or how's that work?
Protection from energy that I did?
Yes. Because every time he
Um,
hits me, it deals 1d6 cold damage.
Oh, it takes 120 points.
Okay, so you have a
So-
pool. Okay.
So it protects you from 120 points of cold damage.
I rolled 2 6s. What a G. So take 12 points off that for each of your 2 hits. This frostworm means business.
You want me to keep track of that, or you want to keep track of it?
Make Justin keep track of it. It's not your responsibility.
The what?
You have 120 points of cold resistance from Scott's spell, and I took away 12 of that, so you're at 108. Because every
Everyone
hit,
get 120.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay. 108. Got it written down.
Go ahead and give me my damage now.
So I get plus 3 from the power attack, which is already should be in, and then plus
Oh.
4.
Plus 6.
6.
Oh yeah, plus 6 from the power attack, which should already be in. Yes. So that's 27.
Okay.
31. And then I hit 2 claws, so I get a rend. Which is additional 19.
Okay. All right.
That will be all for me.
Up next, we have Eos. What you got?
Cast Fireball.
Okay.
Bringing it back.
Fireball, fireball.
Go ahead and roll your damage. I'll roll my reflex save.
Holy. I like those red dye, those are sick.
Yeah, those are sweet.
Okay. My reflex save is definitely a pass. I got a 30. But you notice that Eos's fireballs are different than Kabor's. When his fireball hits, it consumes the creature, dealing an extra 50% damage on top of what it already dealt. So that is 28, and then because it has weakness to flame, plus of his empowered fireball, that is a total of 56 damage.
What?
Yes.
Is it like penetration, magic penetration or something?
Actually, well, he took half from it before, and it passes safe. Hold on, so we gotta redo the damage here. So 14 plus another 14 is 28. Plus another 50% on top of that, which is another 14. Okay, so it does 42 damage. Still good. 42 damage. All right. Are you going to do anything else, Eos?
Totally forgot I cast haste.
Yeah, you could have had one more attack, and all of your attack and damage is +1.
I think it's just attack.
No, it's attack and
You need to
damage.
check.
You check.
Oh, I thought you were gonna rod. All right, go ahead and roll your heal check.
ACT.
What's your total?
You check. So, with haste, do I get an additional just bite, an additional claw? I get to choose.
Whatever your primary attack is.
They're both primary.
No, you're. What?
So
You have a
probably your
primary and then
bite.
You have secondaries.
No, I don't get secondary. Or I can, but I didn't. My things aren't secondary.
Okay. Well then, yeah, I guess whichever one then.
You get an 18 total.
That's not good enough. Is that all for you?
Cast Scorching Ray.
Hey, yo, Scorching Ray.
Okay, you're gonna use your rod for a scorching ray.
Scorching Ray is a... It's a second level spell. It's 4. It's 12d6.
I was just making sure.
Oh, no, it's you max out at 3.
No, it's
Oh, an
there's-
additional. Okay, yeah.
yeah.
Makes 4.
So it's 12d6.
Yeah.
Because he gets 3 total. Or
Holy shit balls! How do you get 2 more 4d6?
Yeah, where do those extra 46 come from, Jared? Each one's 340. Each one's 46 for 12 total. So you only just use the first number? Okay, so 50 even. Is there a save for this, or is this a touch attack?
it's a touch attack
You gotta roll to
for
hit.
each one.
You gotta roll to hit 3 times.
4 times.
There's 3 rays.
4 rays.
Is it 4 rays of 3d6 each?
It's
Yeah.
fire 1 ray plus an additional ray for every 4 levels beyond 3rd.
Of
So it says to a maximum of 3 rays at 11. Is that total, or is that the additional that they're talking about?
So you get 1, and then you get 3 more, so 4 total. So you gotta roll 4 touch attacks, Jared. So 1 more.
not sure.
So what's your BAB and your your dex? Yeah.
So it's 16?
The second 2 are definitely hits, but I don't know about the first 2. BAB is plus 6, and your dex, scroll up, is plus 4. So plus 10. All right, they're all hits.
So we
Jeez.
take the 12d6 and then the other 4d6? So doesn't he get 16?
I thought each one maxed at 3d6 for a total of 12.
Each ray requires a touch attack and deals 4d6 points of damage.
So is it 3
So it'd be
rays?
50 and then the 1/4. So
Yeah.
it'd be
4 rays at
At-
4d6.
So it's the 50 plus the 23
Oh,
for
I'm gonna look
73
this up.
total.
I'm just gonna make sure this is. I thought it was 12.
Because that's what this wording is confusing. It says you must
Oh.
fire 1 ray plus 1 additional ray for every 4 levels beyond 3rd.
Okay, so
To a
third,
maximum of
7. Yeah, you only get 3 rays total, so it's just the 12. Because 3rd is 1 level, 7th is the
Yeah,
second
so you
one,
get 3
3rd.
total.
Yeah, so it's the 50.
So it's 50.
Yeah, and that is enough for it to go kablooey.
Yikes.
So kablooey, I go.
Alright, so negate. Josh, I probably wouldn't even roll the protection from the cold
I'm
damage.
doing it because I want to see the numbers. Okay, I'm gonna be happy doing it. All right. So the first one's the cold. Ignore all of that. So everyone takes, because there's other monsters that have cold. So everyone takes 47 off their 120. And then everyone takes 31 points of damage.
Any saves for that?
No. Oh yeah, reflex for half.
Okay, hold on. I think
And I don't need that anymore because combat's over. I know that's a bit jarring, but I have too many windows up, so too bad.
Got 21 on my reflex.
21 is a fail.
33 on the reflex.
That's a pass.
So the cat got a 15,
That's a fail.
and the other one got a 19.
That's also a fail.
Oh my god.
So you guys just take 31 each.
Right.
Who else? I'm missing somebody's reflex save here. Am I missing Eos's?
No,
Yours?
he has a 12, right?
He has
Whatever his.
He has a plus
reflex is.
10. So what did he roll?
22.
22? Ooh, DC 23. You also fail. So you take 31 damage.
We have a 120 shield, right?
For the 47.
Yeah, minus 47.
Yeah.
So the blast goes off.
Yep. Everything on a 100-foot radius.
Okay, and then so I get half damage, right? Half of the 31.
Yep. So you get 15.
So it's 15 or 16.
15. I round down.
You're not like Scott. You round up.
I round down, yes. I've always rounded down.
Okay. Ira will see. Ira will see everyone get hurt, and go, "Oh my gosh, everyone, are you okay? Here, Karamos, can you call your Ilodon over? Or mechanically, is it like, do you summon the creature over, or is it its own thing?
It is its own being.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay, so Ira will go, Alhaz, come here. Let me heal you. And I will do a channel positive energy.
Roll that 66.
66 plus 1.
Jared, you're at 83 HP right now, currently. Oh, never mind.
Heal for 18.
All right,
Well,
so
thank you.
you're at 101, Jared. So in the big box underneath your HP.
For 18.
Because I think I just spend 2 lay
S.
on hands, and then
T
I use a channel positive
Oh.
energy. I think that's how it works.
and Stone Skin? Oh, is it absorb damage? Oh, okay. Well, never mind. Jared's unfazed apparently because of Stone Skin. I'd never read what Stone Skin does, so.
Let's check Stone Skin real quick.
Skin.
I think it gives you some DR.
DR10 adamantine. Okay.
So he saves 10 of that 31 damage.
Yep. So it's 21, and then you heal 18 back. So you take
on
3
minus
damage,
3.
Jared. You're at 111.
111.
Yep.
Man's health pool is insane.
And then, so Ira will look around and go, Arndis, are you okay? Do you need any more healing?
Nah, I think I'm okay.
What about you, Karamos?
We're fine.
Good. Shaylin has blessed us all. And she'll just go back to being her like little la-di-da flower child self.
Score would love that 70 show. She lives
In
it.
the wrong generation.
Yep. All right. You guys have finally conquered the frost worms. How's it feel?
We
Long
killed that
time
thing
coming.
very quickly.
Yeah, how does Jared do so much damage now? Like,
Well, he's level
does he have an
12.
extra buff?
Are you talking about for his
Does he have an extra
fireballs?
buff? Yeah.
So his fireballs have the empowered attribute attached to them.
What the hell?
Yeah.
So they don't max scale with level anymore?
No, they still max out at 10d6, but then whatever damage he deals, he takes 50% of it, like they're weak to it, and adds that on top.
So it just deals an extra 50%.
Correct.
So if he did do the thing where it doesn't take his level cap into account, that would also gain the 50%?
Yes. That also
Oh.
increased the spell slot.
Yeah.
He can empower it for free.
That's
Is that like a sorcerer, a higher level sorcerer thing, or
Subdomain or something.
It is some, yeah,
oh, it's a bloodline trait?
sort of.
Okay.
Those sorts confuse me. They have like 3 passive things always going on in the background.
Yeah, me too, but I looked it up and it is correct. So,
Alright,
Jesus.
well,
but it only works for the spell Fireball and nothing else.
Okay.
Makes sense.
I'll look at the group and say, like, I'll motion my hand. Shall we?
And story-wise, I explained in the intro that Kabor hit him with a fireball, and it seemed to empower him. So essentially, he's got half of Kabor's strength in his fireballs.
Cute.
Yeah. So that's why it does extra damage.
Interesting.
Yep.
Okay. No, I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm just like, man, that seems broken. But I am not complaining. By all means, please keep chucking
Not
on.
until we get out of this cave are we going to complain about that.
B S O R
I eat you
B.
guys.
S absorbs. It absorbs 10 per hit up to 120. It's DR 10 12 times. So it was one hit, so that was the one. So you still have 110.
So it's not like a
Yeah, it's not 120 pool like it is with
Yeah.
Scott's energy resistance, where that is exactly that.
10 increments.
Yeah,
12
So-
increments of 10.
that's the difference. So if someone slashes you 8 times or whatever, then the 10 would come off every single slash. So
Interesting.
yes,
Okay.
so it's
I mean,
better
that's
against
cool.
so it's better against multi attackers, which most things are nowadays, than single bombs. But DR 10
I
is no
mean-
joke.
No, hell no.
All right, I have to get you guys' names. R&D's, do you want to roll another perception since you're kind of leading the way?
Yep.
She will aid you. Ira will aid you.
Make an independent perception.
Nope, can't do it.
Okay, you guys got the same number. Okay.
Oh,
Whoa!
he has true
What's
sight.
the
Hold on, I gotta get you. Yeah, what's your, he actually has perception numbers now. What's your perception?
No
Jared?
way.
Yeah, I
Don't
know.
believe
Way.
that.
Is
35.
35? What?
I will not allow Jared to participate in any perceptions.
The blind now see.
Well, too soon.
Does he have dark vision?
Yes,
Oh,
even though he's a human, he does have dark vision.
Them sorcerers, man.
And everything's by the book too. I did nothing hokey. Like I
That's
did with
good.
Kabor. Yep.
I did a lot of hokey.
Hey, we'll take all the help we can get.
All right, so you see that this cave tunnels into what looks like a natural structure of like stone and ice. And I have drawn, instead of doing the little angled things like I did before, this place is filled with tons of doors, and that's what these little squares are. So,
Doors.
yep, there's going to be lots of doors. So this is how I do the doors. Each door is like 10 feet by 15 feet and made of solid stone. So they're very heavy.
Very heavy, you say.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly a strength check might help.
Perhaps. If one didn't have a demon god thing as a... They can just shove it. But yeah. So you guys can just walk right over that gravel if you want.
So how do the auras work, Josh? Just mechanically, do I have to declare one to be out, or do I get all of them all the time?
For like your detect evil and stuff.
No, it's like aura of courage. It's like 10 feet.
Oh,
anyone
that's all the
within 10
time.
feet of me. What's up?
That's all the time.
All the time, but
You-
do I have to declare it,
Nope.
or is it like
No, that is
It's permanent.
it's a passive ability that you just are constantly emitting.
It defines you as a paladin. It's like if something's trying to detect good, those auras define you being good. Like they're tied to your religion.
Well, correct, but I'm just saying anyone who stands within 10 feet of me gets a +4 on like saving throws against
Yeah.
like fear effects
At
and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
That's permanent. Yeah, all the time.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if I had to declare like one at a time, or
All
if
right.
I get all of them all the time.
Question:
Yep.
How did you walk to where you're standing currently? Did you just walk straight across, or did you zigzag, or?
I would have.
I walked
Ira
right here.
probably would have. I mean, she's not the smartest, so she probably would have just like followed the group
Do we
wherever
want to
they
cast
went.
invisibility before we go over?
Does she end up? Right here specifically though? Like not here,
Ira?
not here. Yeah, not here. Like right here.
Okay. So
Put her where you want her to be.
He dies.
Final answer.
final answer.
Okay, you detect evil.
Ooh.
Holy smokes.
Everyone, I feel an evil presence is around us. I think we should be careful.
Now, do I have to tell you the direction, or do you just sense it?
So it's like a cone essentially. So it's like I would probably pick it up like if I was like going around like this.
Yeah.
you
All right.
know?
So
Like, it
I'll
goes
do
beep,
cardinal
beep, beep,
direction.
beep,
Yeah,
like
I'll do cardinal directions. You
Okay.
sense it from the north.
this way.
Yep.
Okay. So like off the map. So
You guys can perception check.
Yeah.
Ira will whisper to the group.
We need to look north. I feel the evil presence is lurking that way.
The beast will turn its head. Make a
Oh,
perception check.
this. Actually, I guess that we
anything?
don't really know that the entrance. Well, we probably know
Yeah.
that the entrance is right there.
He just
Just wanna
got
see if there's anything over
he just
there.
got a 28.
What are we doing?
Jesus.
Perception.
Yeah.
Yep.
Quick little glance, see if there's, more caves that come this way.
So like up here.
Yeah.
Nothing. I can't see shit.
Well, we got what, 28 and a 30? Oh.
Now this is a door, right?
It's already
So
a
it could be in
jar,
there.
and the other door is missing.
So it could be in there, but it also could be like over here.
What do we have to do to open these doors? A strength check or?
Potentially. Ira, you don't detect evil anymore.
I feel whatever I sensed is now running away from us.
All right, it's back,
And it's now back.
and now it's gone again. It's like it's at the very edge, and it keeps walking in and out.
Oh, interesting.
gives you a
So
nice
like
distance.
it's 60 feet, so it's like right around here. So it's like patrolling, I guess,
Alright,
like going
so
back and forth.
Do we want to go up or in? Up or in?
There's also hold on, I forgot to reveal this. Perdomois. The reason I made these doors so thick is so that way I can reveal hallways and stuff a lot easier without revealing accidental goodies. So there's also doors to the south as well.
Okay. Which way do we want to go?
How long have we been like sitting here talking? Because-
4 minutes.
Okay. Eidolon is at full health.
I say we do something. Either go south, or go straight ahead, or go up. We gotta pick one though.
How late can you guys go tonight? Do you want me to stop it before combat, or do you guys have time for one?
I could probably do one.
Just want to make sure in case you
Uh,
guys choose
I guess-
poorly.
Ira, lawfully good, she would be like,
I think it'd be best to try and run around the creature. I wouldn't want to just kill it for no reason. Maybe we can convince him to be on our side.
My God, I want to punch you in the face already.
Yeah. I mean, if we're not going up, then I say we just go directly in the ones that are in front of us.
Let's do it.
All right.
All right.
Who's opening the door?
Is it
Alright,
heavy?
fine.
Like, can we tell it's gonna take some effort?
Someone could try to push it.
This isn't something I can do stealthily, is there?
No. There will be no stealth opening any doors in this place.
22 for a strength check.
All right, that is enough to push open the door. Is Eidolon going to open the other one?
Yeah.
Okay.
That is a
Lot.
24.
Yep. I forgot I gave myself free space, so you know that there's nothing else behind it. So you enter. I'm gonna read a little description about this. You guys can step in if you'd like. Do you like my little details that I did in here?
Massacre.
Yeah,
Little massacre
it's
room.
beautiful, isn't it? Dozens of dead and dismembered humanoids are abandoned in this ghastly cold chamber, some neatly stacked and others carelessly strewn about the floor as if they had been hastily rummaged through. A few rare corpses are those of giants. Heaps of severed limbs and other body parts are piled amongst the intact bodies. Fortunately, the natural preservative cold of the mountain dampens the stench of the blood and offal here. That's OFFAL. All right. Bunch of dead and dismembered bodies in here.
Do like
Should we do
something?
a revive? Yeah, like a knowledge check to see like what attacked them.
That's a survival.
Survival wouldn't really get you anything in here. I would need
Nobody's been in or out of the room.
tracks are really hard to detect in here.
Okay.
It looks like there have been some frost giant footsteps, but everything else is just like it's just like there's a solid ice stone floor. Like marks aren't really left.
What would help us figure this out?
Heal check.
So it's like a ritual room.
Heal check. If you want to know that, you can do a knowledge religion.
I'll
Do
do
a
a
knowledge
knowledge
religion.
religion.
All right, let's see
Let's
them.
roll it. Our holy people.
22 or 24. Excuse me.
Yeah.
29.
25.
All right, all three of you know that based on your studies in religion, since all three of you are well versed in religion, you can assume that this is some sort of. Oh, hold on. The girls are tipping their food bowls over. This is some sort of potential, like, not necessarily sacrifice. Looks like they were surgically dismembered, so almost as if necromancy.
Like a little Frankenstein.
Right. Now, all of you inside the room, I see that Eos and Keramos are like at the door. There's no haunt in here. That would have already gone off, so. I'm just asking where you're standing. I'm going to be doing that a lot.
Well, if it seems fine.
I mean, besides it being very macabre, other than that, yeah. There's no, like, detrimental effect going on right now.
Okay. No, like detect magic, nothing.
No, but the evil presence is definitely still coming from the north for Ira.
She will
All right,
tell.
well, do you think we want to go down or up? I feel like down just leads us out.
Yeah, I would say go up. And just like go through that open door. I feel like it might be a Frankenstein, like just like you said, like that's just kind of lurking around now. Like someone like did all the sacrificing, whatnot, and then it's like a
Yeah.
beast thing. So let's trundle on north, guys.
All right. Trundle away.
What's going to be walking order?
Probably something like this. All right.
I'll definitely be in the front.
The front.
Behind the Eidolon? Or in front of the Eidolon, I mean?
Yeah.
I'll be this side of the Eidolon.
All right, so I'm going to move you guys in a big group.
It's really
Do
chose the
we-
weirdest.
This is a very strange
Formation.
shape here.
Do we want to stealth up here, or just go up here, or what do we think?
I would stealth. I mean, I wouldn't just barge right in just to see if we can get like a sneak attack, maybe.
Then everyone needs to stealth.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, do you want me to just stealth up there?
Are you stealthy?
I'm plus 14.
Well, if you want some assistance,
I mean, I'm not stealthy at all. I'm in full metal armor clanking around, so
if you want some assistance, one of us has a 12 stealth, and it's not the little man.
I mean, yeah, you can if you want to summon the Eidolon or or have Elhaz come with me. It's gonna be weird. How tall is that thing?
15 feet tall.
Yeah, large.
Large is like 10 to 14 feet.
Yeah.
And a 3'7" pale dwarf.
You might reach my.
Kneecap.
Yeah.
No, for sure don't. My weapon probably does, but I don't.
Might be able to pet you on the head if I bend over.
All right, go ahead and roll your stealth rolls. Dude, all R&D's only rolls rocks.
Yeah, I haven't rolled under it. I've gone like 7 straight rolls over 10.
I know. It's gross. All right, so what are your totals?
I got a 24.
I got a 33.
Okay. So you guys walk up, cruising
I
around.
do not think I like that game.
Where'd you want to go? In here or over here?
I think the door's open, so
Yeah,
it's-
this is all open here.
I want to stealth up there and then do a little peepsy do.
Okay. So like that.
Sure,
And then you kind of peek around.
sure.
What's Elhaz's?
Peepsy do?
Ooh, nice.
All right, so a couple things here. One, you see a large chamber like so. I'll read you a little description. A set of double doors leads into this chamber. One of the doors stands partially ajar, while the other, scratched and gouged, appears to have been pulled from its hinges and discarded in the corridor outside. I didn't draw it in; it's in the rubble. The support columns that once stood in the northern corners of the room lie broken in stone shards on the floor. It's like the walls kind of collapsed in. So that's what those two dark spots are. So it's taller in the corners and kind of rolls downward in a cone. Most of the room remains intact, however. Also, you see behind said door, looking directly at you, this, which I'm sorry, I tried to get a better image, but it's gonna, when I full screen it, it's gonna be tiny and crooked. So I apologize in advance, but I tried my best. Looks like this.
I didn't
Oh,
see
that's
anything.
creepy.
Yeah, I'll do it again for you, Justin.
It's not a good sign for me.
You see that?
No, but I got a feeling it's not gonna happen. So
All right. Well, if you zoom in on Roll20, you can actually probably
Yeah.
see it better. Just enhance. All right. Go ahead and roll for initiative. You see these three boneheads. Their jaws clacking up and down as if the ghosts from, what is that? Majora's Mask. You know, there's like those three guys in the one room. You have to like burn the blockings that are blocking the light into the chamber in the undead area.
Yeah.
It's like their skulls. They're
Let's
clacking up and
acknowledge
down.
this dude first. Let's get a knowledge on him.
Let's roll for initiative, and you can do that on your turn.
That's what I'm
We
saying.
know it's evil. We know it's evil.
Alright. Shut up, Az. Oh my god. Leave us alone. Alright. R&Ds, what'd you get?
14.
Okay. Karamos and Elhaz, what'd you get?
29.
Oh my god, you're so fast. I rolled another natural one for my initiative. I officially rage quit. Ira, what'd you get?
23.
Okay, and Eos, what'd you get? Arnie's, what'd you get?
14.
Okay, so Eos is there. All right, round one. Karamos, you're up first.
All right.
You are able to
Run.
indirectly know what's going on.
Yes. Got a feeling something bad's gonna happen. I'm gonna run over here and do another haste. And because it worked so well the first time, a magic fang.
All right. You have one use of that rod left today.
Yep. This is an unfortunate positioning.
Wait, you should be able to shoot 10 feet, right?
There's a
If you just take a 5-step forward, you can. It's 3'7" that you're fighting over, so you should be able to go right over top of that.
Yeah, you're 4 times as tall as me.
Yeah, but the situation is, I need to be here.
That will provoke, but you can do it.
Actually, this is fine. I'm going to use a feat called Lunge.
Okay.
Increase the reach of my melee attacks by 5 feet, but I take a -2 to AC.
Sounds good. I'm furious that I cannot find my dry erase markers.
So I will be not using a power attack. Using a bite. That's the damage. It's not what I want to do.
Yes, I see you.
And that's an additional +5. We had 4 from Greater Fang and 1 from Haste, right?
Yep.
So 29.
That's a hit.
Okay.
Just have to keep track of
I'm just gonna
myself
do
in here.
all the hits first.
Okay.
That should be another hit then.
Was that? Yeah.
29.
Mm-hmm.
Should be another hit. Bite, claw, 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 claw. Okay. So they all hit.
Yep.
So that's 6 attacks.
With haste, yeah, you can do a full attack when you lunge.
Yeah, it just lowers my AC.
All right.
There's a bite. That's additional. Does these do damage too?
Now, what kind of damage is a bite? Is that like slashing, natural?
Bite
Like...
is all my attacks are natural attacks.
Okay. Got it.
Piercing. Yeah, natural piercing.
Okay.
But they all do the same damage, so
Okay. Roll all the damages.
so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
All right. This is absurd.
And it's an additional 24 total with all those hitting from the.
Rend. All right. Add it all up
no,
for me.
from that is from the spell that I used. Add it all up for you. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
You do this, master. You do the work.
Okay, let me get my calculator out. So we get 23 plus 17.
Now, if this thing has DR, does your magic fang do anything about that?
Look, natural weapon does not allow natural weapon or unarmed strike to bypass damage reduction.
Okay. So at least I won't be taking all this garbage.
Plus 24, and then get some rend.
Oh, by the way, this thing was supposed to attack you guys after the Greg fight. It was outside the door, but I decided not to do that. And then it was supposed to
That
attack you
is-
again after the other fight with what's her face.
175.
Okay. Wow. First of all, but not all of that goes through. All right. Imagine this giant undead. I mean, this thing's like 17 feet.
It's a
like,
huge,
yeah.
it's a huge creature.
It's
yeah.
monstrous, and this huge, weird-looking.
There's a lot of body parts that shouldn't be where they are.
Yeah,
It's
on
like-
both. It would look very weird. All right.
And this was supposed to kill, like, attack us from Greg.
Yeah.
That seems weird.
When that gate got opened and something was unleashed, this is what it was. All right, Ira, you're up next.
Oh, Ira's up next. Sorry. So if I move here, can I still reach him with my weapon, or since there's two people right here, it won't
No,
work?
that's fine. Do you have reach?
I do.
Yeah.
Okay. I will move here, and then I will. Hang on, let me do the ruler ring.
Okay.
It'd be cool in Table Spire when you can just like get the little thing that shows you 30,
Right.
like 30 feet.
So am I hasted? Was that in your range?
Yeah, the only one not
Listen.
hasted is Eos.
Eos or
'Cause,
Eos,
yeah,
excuse me.
No one can
Okay.
do anything from more than 30 feet. So
So I'm hasted. So I guess I'll take a couple swings at it then, with the glaive guisarm.
Okay. Because you moved, you can only do. Oh, you guys
One attack.
one attack, yeah, even with haste, because the haste only adds for full round actions.
Then I guess, I kind of want to use a smite evil then.
Okay.
'Cause don't you have to cast it and then you use it on your next turn? Isn't that how it works?
Is it a standard action? You tell me. What does Smite Evil say?
Once per day, a paladin can call out powers of good and aid to the struggle against evil. As a swift action, the
Yeah,
paladin
so
can
it's
choose
swift.
one
So you
target.
you can do it and then attack.
Okay, I'll do that then.
All right. Well, this thing would have been very cool.
just add an extra 0 at the end of itself.
That'd be nice.
19 to hit.
What about with your evil? Your
Oh, smite evil.
yeah, because that's gonna add a ton more.
Yeah.
Unless the 15's with your Smite Evil.
No, it's my base. I didn't even count that.
BAB plus your strength plus your weapon.
Yep.
That's the 15. So then
Yeah,
what's
Plus whatever your smite evil
Equal
gives
to her
you for it.
charisma. Yeah, in addition, while smite evil is ineffective, paladin gains a deflection bonus of charisma, but that doesn't matter.
that's your AC?
Adds
so
her
your AC goes
charisma,
up.
adds charisma to the attack rolls, and adds her paladin level to all damage rolls.
Okay, so what's your charisma
Okay,
modifier?
Charisma
So your
modifier
BAB is
is
12.
5, so it's a
Your BAB.
20.
So your BAB is 12, right?
Yes,
What's your strength?
2,
Plus your weapon is 15.
1. Yep.
Oh, plus
Plus charisma, so that's
24
5. So
plus the one
Yeah,
from
no.
haste.
yeah. So you're at like 25.
So 25, and that is exactly its AC.
okay. So 7, and then another 2d6 for because it's any evil line. My weapon is holy, so any evil line creature takes another 2d6 of damage.
Yep. Plus
And then
12.
this plus 12. So
So 25.
Yep.
All right. It's still alive, but it's not looking great. Arndis, what do you got for me?
They do a heal check on it.
Yep.
So it's 2 points for additional 2 points of damage per level of paladin.
Oh,
it's
so it's-
another 24, not 12.
Oh, okay. So it is real bad then. What's your total?
25.
This thing can get killed by peeing on it.
I'd recommend doing that.
Okay. I'll attack it. Okay. Well, that one's a miss.
Yep.
I wasn't gonna do the whole shebang, but whatever. Fucking Christ.
Roll a D100, please. And that ends your full round.
Hmm.
Ooh, you are prone.
Okay.
So go ahead and tail spire, knock over your character. But on
You guys been
here,
messing around with Tailspire a lot.
oh yeah.
It's exciting.
All right. Sadly, Eos is up next. I probably won't get to go, which is truly tragic.
I think everyone needs to get in melee range.
What are you doing, man?
Cast Fireball.
All right, that is the most excessive overkill I've ever seen. Yeah, you can roll damage if you want it, but it's at 2 HP, so. It is dead. You could have Acid Splash and killed it. All right.
Maybe.
I do have acid splash.
Go ahead and get rid of
That's
that.
good for trolls.
Yeah, I thought
Controlling
it
us
would be
by doing no damage.
I feel like I'm getting trolled right now with the amount of damage Justin's Eidolon did, but okay. Wait, why is there town sounds? Oh, it switched to...
Wet basements needed.
Wet basements needed. God,
That sounds not good.
I know. All right. You have successfully killed this thing. Scott forgot to do a knowledge
Ooh.
religion check. You can do it now if you want. Wow, this thing is really cool, and I didn't even get to use it.
A lot.
Things has as much health as the story needs.
This thing is called the Balemorn. It is a necrocraft, aka it is like built from pieces of
Struck.
bones.
That's very cool.
It can climb on the walls and the ceiling, which would have been
That's
fun.
horrifying.
Yeah. I was gonna have it make you attack from the ceiling, but because it's so tall, it'd essentially be the same thing as standing straight up. So it really wouldn't have done anything. And then I couldn't have done its other ability. It has grab, and can pierce you with its blades and get bleeding damage while it's grabbed you. So you're like speared by it, which is pretty fun. Can also
Did
coil
anyone
around
take
you.
damage?
No, I did not even go. So, well, that was the Balemorn. Very exciting.
We will mourn its loss.
I'm mourning it currently.
So maybe down is the way that we had to go.
Well, there's really only one option now.
Because that's right in the entrance of the.
Yeah, it's probably like a split off, you know? Because there's one up here and then another one that way.
What? A split off where?
Probably right where the doors are. It's probably like comes in this way. There's a thing here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
yeah.
I'd say we move down there. I'm assuming I'm not going to be prone anymore. So
Yeah, that
I don't
you
think
can
there's
pick
a-
yourself up.
You're crawling all the way there.
Eos wants to loot.
It won't let me steal your card. I'm trying to steal it.
Oh no.
It won't let me do it. Now I can't get rid of this stupid deck thing. There we go.
Wow.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, Tub stole it. Perfect. No. Okay. Who wants to open the door?
Jared wants to loot.
There's nothing to loot.
That's unfortunate.
This room is a giant waste of your time.
another strength check to open it?
Yep.
Ooh.
Damn it.
They have a whole like 3 paragraphs on this thing, and you guys killed it before you even attacked. Okay, you are unable to
Say
open
that
it.
in the post-game script. I will attempt to push it open.
Whose eye?
The Eidolon.
Yes, the Eidolon not only pushes it open, breaks the door.
Knocks it off the hinges.
Just straight gonzo. Okay. Perception checks, please.
Ira will aid Eos, since she's standing right next to him. Oh well, hang on.
Nice.
That didn't go through.
That's a failure.
That did not roll. That didn't go through. There you go. Oh, still doesn't matter.
Do you have a 0 perception?
I do.
Jared and Andrew switch places. Their characters. All right. So we got 24, 21. Are you perceptioning at all, Justin, or nah?
I got a 14.
Okay.
What a nice foyer.
It is. That's exactly what this is. There's actually a hallway right here, so let me go ahead. But yeah, you guys see what looks like the entrance chamber.
So we should have just gone through the front door the whole time.
It was locked. You cannot.
I know.
But yes.
But yes.
So walkway.
Yeah, I can read.
Doors.
Yeah, I'll read. Yeah, I'll read you this. A stark chill pervades this chamber, which is lit by 2 torches burning with an eerie blue light that hang in the northeast and southwest corners. The east and south walls are covered with hundreds of humanoid skulls, mortared into place. A wide corridor stretched into darkness extends from the northwest, while 3 sets of massive stone double doors exit to the northwest and southeast. Enormous support columns stand along the walls, flanking each doorway. Which is what those circles are. Get used to seeing those, because boy, did I have to draw a lot of them. All right, what do you guys want to do? It's just it's an empty vestibule. There's a bunch of skulls on the walls.
We want to go down or across?
Oh, we can perception down this hallway first.
Everyone, go ahead and move into position here, please. I'm gonna be saying that a lot. Usually it doesn't matter, but sometimes it does. So, all right, is everyone where they want to be?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
What was that? A perception?
Yes.
So a couple things. Okay.
Pete.
So a couple
What's up?
things. First, you guys can see down this hallway. And it goes on and on and on and on into what looks like another room.
That's a penis.
I was gonna say I need to change the shape immediately. There we go.
Can't beat left nut, right nut though.
Yeah,
Can't beat left
Yeah, that
nut,
was a
right.
that was a classic. So I'm pretty sure isn't Auroch buried in Left Nut?
Yep.
Oh,
Left nut or right nut, either one.
No, he's in left nut.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I think he's in Left Nut because it's closer to the heart. What a throwback. A couple other things are going to happen. First and foremost, the walls to the east and south are going to open up. So here and here, those walls open up. And at the same time, I need everybody except Ira to roll me a reflex save.
Well,
Damn it.
All right. I have a question. How long does your protection from cold spell last?
It's 10 minutes per level. Or no, it's from cold.
Yes.
I would think it would be. It's 10-minute intervals. Well, it might still be. It's 10-minute intervals. 12 of them spread between the 5 of us.
All right.
So
I'll say it's still there.
about an
The reason I asked is because the Eidolon in its hulkiness is actually standing upon a pressure plate.
I bet.
And what are the totals for everybody?
73 and 61.
Not health totals, your reflex saves.
Oh, like 9.
You
and
said
14.
I can't get one.
You don't need to. You're not hit by this.
Oh, okay.
mine was a 12.
Okay, that's a fail.
So I'm going down in the pit or wherever.
I think it's, I don't know, a dart trap or something.
Oh, it's fun. What's everyone else's totals, please?
9 and 14.
Okay. So Eos, Karamos, Elhaz, and Arndis are all frozen in a block of ice, completely paralyzed as as the two walls open up and you see not one
Oh my god.
but two frost giants emerge from the walls, and we'll see you next time.
What the fuck?